Sing at Haverton Hill, because there's something to sing about. The air over Teesside is cleaner, the sky bluer. Gone are the days of dust, grit and smog. Standing beneath the chimneys of one of the world's biggest chemical complexes, Haverton Hill was not a place with a song in the air only 3 years ago. At the mercy of grit, grime and smog, and subject to inversion weather conditions, it was said to be the most polluted place in the north. It was a village with a problem in the air. The fabric of its buildings discolored and corroded. But now, massive capital expenditure by ICI Billingham has dramatically reduced the grit, grime and fumes. The sudden banks of fog, caused even on sunny days when certain weather conditions combined with pollutants, now no longer take place. It's all due to a clean-up plan announced in 1969. Since that time, millions of pounds have been spent by ICI in cutting out its portion of the air pollution on Teesside. One of the biggest culprits over many years has been coal. In the past, ICI Billingham has used nearly 2 million tonnes a year. The boilers of ICI's Billingham Power Station, which once used 3,000 tonnes of coal a day, now burn clean, pollution-free natural gas. Smoke, sulphur dioxide, grit and dust have all been eliminated. And the cost? £1 million. The nitro chalk plant, a familiar landmark to many Teessiders for 40 years, contributed to ammonia and dust in the air. Now the plant's been shut down and demolished, and the pollution with it. The cement works and its kilns at the side of Haverton Hill Road have in the past also contributed dust, ammonia, and its consequent bluish mist to the local air. And they burnt about 1,000 tonnes of coal a week. Now they lie idle, shut down by a combination of economic necessity and an awareness of the atmospheric problems they caused. For over 40 years, anhydrite was mined from beneath the Billingham factory, and 1 million tonnes a year was used in making ammonium sulphate, sulphuric acid, and other products. Milling the mined anhydrite rock for industrial use caused clouds of dust and grit. The old sulphuric acid kilns burned 1,000 tonnes of coal a week to roast anhydrite and produce gases for sulphuric acid production and byproduct cement clinker. These kilns and the milling plant were hot, dirty and smelly for operators and the local population. Now they lie idle, waiting to be pulled down. The two replacement sulphuric acid plants alongside Haverton Hill Road utilize liquid sulphur from France and natural gas. They cost £3 million to build and have £300,000 worth of effluent suppression equipment built in. They are the cleanest plants of their type in Britain. At the design stage, the Nitram plant near the Portrack roundabout had great potential as an aerial polluter. But this was foreseen, and effluent suppression equipment was built into the specification to reduce to minimal proportions any impact the production process might have on the environment. Cost of the control equipment? £500,000, 15% of the plant cost. So too with the latest nitric acid plant. To keep the brown fume emissions to less than any similar plant in Britain, suppression equipment costing £250,000 was installed. A policy of prevention rather than cure. Nevertheless, it's not just a case of building in equipment on new plants. The company has made strenuous efforts to improve and modify the effluent emissions from existing plants with, for instance, scrubbers, which clean waste gases before they are released to atmosphere. This is one of the old nitric acid plants running without the scrubbers working. When they're switched on, the difference immediately becomes apparent. Likewise with the number 5 urea plant. Scrubbers here do a similar job. Cleaning systems like this add £170,000 to the overall cost. On the Billingham ammonia plants, valves open to release ammonia when safety requirements necessitate. Now, instead of passing to atmosphere, the ammonia is burned at the top of flare stacks by natural gas. There's neither smell nor nuisance for the local population. All this has meant dramatic changes in the quality of air over the Billingham site. Take sulphur dioxide, probably Britain's biggest atmospheric pollutant. At ICI Billingham, sulphur dioxide emissions amounted to 43,000 tonnes a year in 1969, principally from burning 3,000 tonnes of coal a day. In June 1970, the first IC boiler was converted to natural gas, reducing the sulphur dioxide by 1,600 tonnes a year. A second boiler conversion and the shutdown of the cement plant followed in September, and 2 more boilers in the spring of 1971. Other plant changes dropped the figure again in the summer of 1971. The last 3 IC boilers were converted in late 1971. After that, a new sulphuric acid plant replaced the old one, and the 2 remaining Stirling boilers closed for good. A reduction of 97% in 3 years has been achieved. The use of coal also means grit and dust in the atmosphere. In 1969, it totaled 7,200 tonnes, 20 tonnes a day. It was this that coated window ledges, roofs, gutters and brickwork. Grit and dust has been reduced in parallel with sulphur dioxide as conversions and modernizations have taken place. The improvement has been dramatic. The air over the Billingham site has been cleaned up by almost 98%. All this has cost money, over £3 million in 3 years. And it's a continuing process that will be pursued with vigour as new technology produces even better equipment for control of pollutants. ICI said it would make these improvements, and the company has kept its word. ICI cares about the environment.